Genesis 21. Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahweh did for Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham. Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, scoffing. Therefore she said to Abraham, Cast out this slave woman and her son, for this son of the slave woman shall not be heir with my son, with Isaac. And the matter was very displeasing in the sight of Abraham, upon the cause of his son. But God said to Abraham, Let it not be displeasing in your sight because of the boy, or because of your maidservant. All whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice. For in Isaac your seed will be reckoned, and yet of the son of the bondwoman I will make a nation, because he is your seed. Genesis 22. God tested Abraham, and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Take now your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. But Isaac spoke to Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son. And they came to the place which God had told him, and Abraham built an altar there, and arranged the wood, and he bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched out his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of Yahweh called to him from heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. So he said, Here I am. And he said, Do not lay your hand on the boy, or do anything to him, for I know now that you fear God, since you have not withheld your only son from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a ram behind him was caught in a thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram, and offered it for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place, Yahweh will provide. And the angel of Yahweh called to Abraham a second time out of heaven, and said, I have sworn by myself, says Yahweh, for on account of this thing which you have done, and have not withheld your only son, that blessing I will bless you, and multiplying I will multiply your descendants, as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand on which is the shore of the sea. And your descendants shall possess the gate of their enemies, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in your seed. Genesis 23. Sarah died, and Abraham came to mourn for Sarah. Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah. Genesis 24. So Abraham said to the oldest servant of his house, ruling over all that he had, Please put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Yahweh, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanite, whom I am dwelling among, but to my country and to my family you shall go, and take a wife for my son Isaac. Genesis 25. And Isaac pleaded with Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren, and Yahweh granted the plea to him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, Please feed me with this red stew, for I am weary. Upon thus was his name called Edom. But Jacob said, Sell as of this day your birthright to me. And Esau said, Behold, I am about to die, so what is this birthright to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me as of this day. And so he swore to him, and sold his birthright to Jacob.